centers state that they receive about 1,500 reports each year from people who are asking to give up their parrots, and they can only take about 30 parrots in per year. Now, why are there so many people who want to give up their parrots? Well, one of the most common things are hormones. Are hormones really that bad? Today, we will be covering everything about parrot hormones, from what triggers a parrot to become hormonal, to how to identify a hormonal parrot, and commonly asked questions about parrot hormones. And we'll even be telling you how you can help a parrot who is being hormonal. My name is Isabella. This is Otis. You're watching the Cockagies. Hope you enjoyed this video. Many parrot carers who give up their parrots because they're going through a hormonal stage is because they don't know that this is just a temporary thing, and instead they believe that their parrot's going through a hormonal stage is a permanent personality alter. In the wild, parrots usually become hormonal during breeding season, which happens about twice a year. In the northern hemisphere, that would happen around maybe March, and in the southern hemisphere, it would happen around September. Both of those times are actually in spring, so yeah, have a look out for that. However, for birds in homes, this will probably vary. This is because of the increased amount of daylight and sunlight the parrots at our homes give, the different foods, the different environments. So this will not definitely apply for the parrots at your home. First of all, how can you identify a hormonal parrot? My number one is sudden feather plucking. Feather plucking probably has absolutely nothing to do with breeding season. However, a parrot who has never plucked before or isn't prone to plucking that suddenly starts plucking might be because of breeding season, and it's just because of the hormones and the alter in environment and like the sun. Searching for nesting sites. Well, obviously a parrot who searches for nesting sites is ready to breed and is therefore hormonal. Nesting sites might include nest boxes, dark spaces, areas with nice materials that can nest in. Anything like that your parrot pays closer attention to is a sign that your parrot is hormonal. More vocal parrots. This one only applies to males. I say this because even though parrots are very, very vocal creatures, it's completely natural for birds to sing, to scream. This is part of parrot's nature. However, in breeding season, parrots will become even more vocal for the males, because males will try to attract females by flirting with them and singing, and so yeah, that's why male parrots will become more vocal during breeding season. Mating dances. Mating dances only apply to the males because males do mating dances for the same reason as to why they are vocal, because they are trying to attract females. Mating dances usually goes like this. A male parrot will walk around with a hop, bobbing his or her head sometimes while singing and having harpings. If you don't know what harpings are, it's when a parrot slightly opens his or her wings so that it forms a heart. A commie does this a lot. So if a male parrot does this, he or she, he is probably hormonal. Interest in cuttle bones. Okay, so this is one that only or mostly applies to females. Females will be more interested in cuttle bones when they are ready to breed, because when they produce an egg, they require a lot of calcium, because as we know, an eggshell is made up of calcium, and cuttle bone is rich in calcium. So a female will be more interested in a cuttle bone because she will obviously need it for producing the egg. So yeah, that's why a female parrot will be interested in cuttle bone. Territoriality. This is when a parrot becomes possessive of a certain place because he or she feels the need to protect that place, because this is the place where they have decided they will nest, or the place that they feel that has a nesty environment. So they feel, okay, this is my space, I'm going to protect it. So when they are territorial over that place, they will scream at people if they try going near it, and same with other birds. They will bite. They will generally protect the area because this is now their area. Lifting intervenes. This one only applies to the females. Females will lift their vent when they are ready to mate and when they are asking to be mated with. So yes, that is a natural indicator that your female parrot is hormonal. Possessiveness. There are certain objects, spaces and people that parrots might be attracted to, especially during breeding season. They might be triggers. And so the reason why they are possessive is because this is something or someone that they feel is theirs, and they feel the need to protect it because of the breeding environment. Say for example that Otis thinks I'm his mate, so he will protect me from anyone else. He will bite anyone else, whether it be a bird or a person who comes near me, because he feels that I am his mate and he doesn't want anyone to cheat with me. So, and same applies to a certain area, a toy, mostly anything that they can feel is theirs, they will become possessive of it. Constant screaming. We all know that parrots are very, very vocal, and that's completely normal. But if a parrot screams a lot more than usual, that might indicate that he or she is hormonal. It's not definite, but it could be. They scream for a good reason, and it's because of not because of stress or because of anxiety, simply out of frustration of maybe not being able to fulfill their basic need, which is mating. When they can't find a mate or when they're not allowed to mate, so then they might start screaming. Regurgitation. If you don't know what regurgitation is, let me tell you. This is when a parrot has chewed the food and it hasn't reached the crop area, which is there, and then kind of brings it back up through their throat with the intention of feeding it to a loved one, whether it be a mate or a chick or even a toy. Yes, I've heard of parrots regurgitating on their toys. And so this is when they have a mate or they have someone special that they want to share their food with, and parrots share their food with people or birds that they feel are special or that they are bonded to. Now we have looked at things that we can look for when we want to see if a parrot is hormonal. Let's look at things that might trigger a parrot to become even more hormonal, despite it being breeding season or despite a parrot being in circumstances that mimic breeding season. First of all, petting. Many people do not know that there are specific places that you can only pet a parrot. For example, you cannot pet a parrot's stomach or back. It's not like a cat or a dog that you can pet all over because they're fuzzy and cute. I know birds are too, but you cannot pet a parrot there. You don't want your parrot to see you as a mate, because if they do, it will become very upsetting for them when you leave the room, because in the wild or in natural circumstances, a mate will always be with you. So if you're not with your parrot, he will become very upset and he will start screaming. So it's not good for you to be seen as your parrot's mate. So try to keep your relationship with your parrot as a flock member or as a friend. So don't pet the back or the stomach. Those stuff are mate-only petting places. Mates breed each other there. And so there are a few places that you can pet your parrot that is completely fine for you. So for example, let's try with Otis now. I can pet his neck, for example. See, he loves that very much. I can pet his face, he's very cute. You can also touch his feet, which is fine. I don't think he likes it very much, but it is okay. It's not a mate-only area. So try to keep it within the neck and head and the feet. And those are basically the only areas that you should touch with your parrot. Nesting materials. Anything that might potentially be a material that your parrot would nest with is considered a nesting material and will probably trigger a parrot to become hormonal. Things like this can include either a nesting box, or it can include stuff that your parrot wants to nest with, things such as woolly stuff, as shredded paper, as maybe like I don't know, tiny little balls, anything that could potentially be something that they would want to use as their nesting material. Okay, so when a parrot is in the same area as another parrot who is hormonal, he or she will be notified that the other parrot is hormonal and is looking for a mate, so they might also become hormonal. Even if neither parrots are hormonal, just the thought of the other one being there can trigger them to become hormonal. So yes, when there are two parrots in the same area, as in maybe a room, as in a house, chances are they could become hormonal and could breed, even if they aren't male and female and male and male and female and female. They will go through the exact same routine just without having any chicks. Breeding foods. There are specific foods that trigger breeding. Parrot breeders use these foods when they want their mating pairs to produce chicks, and so they give specific foods to parrots that they want to breed. These foods mostly include mushy things, anything like eggs, mashed things, anything that could possibly mimic something ooey and gooey, or regurgitation, things that parrots regurgitate, will be considered breeding foods, because parrots will think that maybe this is something that has been regurgitated by another parrot, which might cause them to become hormonal. Produced when there is light, because then they have chance to have chicks, and so any more light than usual might trigger them to become hormonal, so that might be a contributing factor. Here are some commonly asked questions about parrots and breeding season. First of all, why is a parrot suddenly screaming a lot more than he or she usually is? So like I said before, parrots are very vocal and they are very loud, and that's completely natural. However, in some cases it is worse, and breeding season might be one of those cases that it is worse. And so a parrot that suddenly starts screaming more than he or she usually is might be hormonal, and this is why. So when a parrot is this is probably most of the time when a parrot is alone. This is when a parrot doesn't have a mate to breed with, or when he has a mate but the mate doesn't return that love. So maybe Otis thinks I'm his mate, but I don't return that love. I mean, I love him obviously very much, but not in that way. So in that case, parrots will be frustrated because they aren't able to fulfill a basic need, and through that frustration they will scream. So parrots scream because they have built up energy that comes from frustration. Why is a parrot suddenly so aggressive? This is also because of breeding season. So like I said before, a parrot who feels the need to protect a certain area will become aggressive to anyone or anything that comes near it in order to protect that area, because he or she feels the need to protect it because that is now his or her area. This can apply to humans as well. I mean that a parrot can become possessive of a person or another bird or an object because they feel that is their object, and so they will become aggressive to anyone else who comes near it. Parrots also have the concept of cheating. So for example, again, Otis thinks I'm his mate, and I speak with my sister or my mom or my dad. I give them hugs. Maybe he will see this. Oh my word, he is cheating on me, and he will become aggressive to whoever I'm being maybe hugging or talking to. So he will become aggressive to them. He might start biting them. Or when he is unable to drive that intruder away, he might even become aggressive to me because he doesn't want to be cheated with. So that's basically the concept of birds cheating. So that is probably why they are aggressive during breeding season. Plucking. Like I said before, plucking might be a sign of a hormonal parrot. However, chances are that it's not. Plucking is most of the time due to anxiety, stress, all those types of things. However, if it is due to it being hormonal season, it might be for the same reason as a bird screaming. So when a parrot is unable to fulfill a need, he will take that out. The parrot might either scream or he might pluck his feathers. There are so many ways he can act out, and so he can do more than one, and that is just a way to release the energy that the frustration has caused. Now, how can we help those parrots who are being hormonal? First of all, don't pet your parrots in the areas that I've mentioned previously. Only pet them on the head and on their feet. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. And you can pet them on their neck, but don't pet them anywhere on their chest, on their back, on their vent. Anywhere like that is not a good place to pet your parrot. Restrict the amount of daylight. Try putting a bird to bed early in the evening, and try waking him or her up later in the morning. So that will restrict the daylight. Cover your bird's cage with blankets so that it darkens the place they sleep in. And like I said before, increased daylight might trigger them to breed. So with decreased amount of daylight, they might not be triggered to breed. Change the toy setup. I'd like to thank my dad, because each morning after my birds are taken out to get their daily vitamin D, my dad arranges the cage and toys in such a way that it's different from each day before. This is good because this gives your parrot something else to focus their energy on, instead of focusing it on like searching for nesting sites, looking for a mate, or just simply focusing on their hormones. So try mixing it up each day. Put the swing somewhere else, put the cage on top of another one if it's a smaller cage or a lighter cage. And you can like change the perches, change the swirly thingy, put it on different areas. This is great. This is great for simulation. I totally recommend it. No nesting materials. Try to get rid of anything that could potentially be something that a parrot would want to use as a nesting materials. Try to get rid of shredded paper, anything woolly, anything small, anything that there's like a lot of, anything crumbly. Try to get rid of all of that, and try to eliminate anything that might be dark and that there might be a corner. Try to eliminate nesting boxes. Actually, definitely take away all nesting boxes, nests, like finch nests, anything like that. Like corners, try to cover the corners, couches, anything possibly. Don't offer a parrot food from your mouth or your hands. This is also because parrots might see a human as being their mate. Train and play with your parrot. Training and playing is absolutely great. It's something you should do anyways. But try to increase the amount of playtime and training time, because one, this stimulates your parrot, and two, it directs your parrot's energy off of the hormones and instead focuses it on something fun and something that they have to work at. So try recall training with them, try teaching them tricks, try teaching them dancing. Anything is so good. Just try to keep it like something that you don't have to touch them as much, except if it's on the feed, obviously. So that is absolutely a great way to direct your parrot's energy off of their hormones. Head bobbing. This might sound weird, but maybe when you're dancing or acting out, you might accidentally bob your head in front of a parrot, and this is not a good thing, because head bobbing is what a parrot does when he or she is asking to be regurgitated for. Never heard him make that sound. I like it. Yeah. Anyway, so head bobbing is something that parrots do when they are asking to be regurgitated to, like regurgitated being fed by another. So don't bob your head, because then you're kind of like saying that I'm your mate, feed me. So don't do that. That is all for today. I hope this helps you out a lot. Let me know if I missed anything. I'd absolutely love to hear your comments. Please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I absolutely hope that you learned something and that you got help. Check out our Instagram and our TikTok. It's really fun. We post very often. So yes, please check that out. You'll enjoy that very much. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your views. We hope you have an absolutely amazing day. So does Otis. And that's all from this side. Thank you so much.